Was music your first love? You knew from the beginning that you always wanted to get into music, or there was another path that you wanted to follow?
Was No, music was it was something that I enjoyed doing, but I loved words. I've always been a relatively strong writer, and ironically enough, I end up doing successful off of a lot of covers. But in any event, I'm a strong writer, and I always have been. So, writing was always a big thing, and I always thought I was going to be an attorney. I tell everyone I wanted to be a lawyer. I was always a very radical. My thinking was radical as a young person. And I remember my mom being in a group called Women Active in Community Affairs. And I remember listening to, the conversations. And so for me, I always thought that I was going to be an attorney because I felt as if there was a lack of representation. As I got older, I realized this, a lack of representation for women and for people of color and for those who economically did not have access to the resources that some. And so that was my plan. I wanted to be an attorney, but music was always there. And I think that because it was always there and because it was such a kind of a natural part of who I was, it was nothing for us to get together and have a jam session just for the sake of sharing a song. We would be there I go, there I go, there I go, there I go. Everybody, that stuff, I would do that with my dad and my uncles and my aunts because that was classic, jazz. So when I listened to the OJ's family reunion, Stairway to Heaven. So when I listened to music, it always took me to a happy place. It always took me to a time and reminded me of times when we were celebrating and sharing sharing love amongst each other. Yeah, music I don't know if it was my first love. I think my parents were my first. I absolutely loved my parents. I loved my mom and dad were just good people. And so, as corny as that may sound, it's just knowing that I was safe. My first love was knowing that I was in a safe place with mom and dad, with my mom and my dad. And so, and then they introduced me to music. So yeah, so
Uh-huh.
that's how that, got started. You can find me, Sybil Sings, Facebook, Instagram.
Pushplaypods.com.